Yes.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Thank you.
Well, they threw out a whole bunch of salt today, and it's not even cold enough for it.
When I got here, it was slippery. That's
Was it?
why they did it. Yeah. How's your day going?
It's going. I woke up, which is always a good thing, and
No, that's half the battle sometimes.
always half the battle. Honestly, it's the only battle. You know,
Yeah.
we wake up. It's proof that we have purpose in this life. We just have to figure out what that purpose is. And
Yes, sir.
if you know your purpose, then get at it. If you don't know it, your purpose is to find a purpose.
There you go. That's a good way to see it.
Mm-hmm. So where are you from?
Texas.
Texas.
Yeah.
What part of Texas?
San Antonio.
I hear great things about San Antonio.
Yeah.
I have never been there, but yet again, everyone says it's so beautiful out there.
Yeah, it depends where you go. Like any other city, right?
Mm-hmm.
Depends where you go and how much you want to spend.
What's your favorite thing about San Antonio?
I would say definitely the parties.
The parties, all right.
Yeah, like if you ever get a chance to go during Fiesta,
Okay.
it's like a 10-day long whole citywide party.
I like that. That's kind of cool.
It's kind of jokingly say it, think of it like a Mexican Mardi Gras.
Okay.
You know, kind of equivalent.
I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to Texas quite a few times, just never that part. Texas is a big state.
What parts have you been to?
Oh, I've been through bits of West Texas, just mainly driving. I've been Dallas, Fort Worth.
Okay.
God, where else have I been through? Can't really recall. I've seen 46 states in the last 5 years or so driving around, and
Oh wow. Yeah. So.
I try to travel and visit as many different places as possible, whether I get to stay or not. But at least I get to see them,
Yeah. No, most definitely.
and then hopefully well, don't stop there, bud. So what do you do for work?
I actually work for this company called Core Civic.
Okay, what do you do?
Yeah, they're the largest private contract for government contracts for prisons.
Okay.
So right now I work at a transitional center in Austin, but I live in San Antonio. So
Oh,
it's about
gotcha.
an hour and a half away.
Oh, that's not far.
No, not at all.
I didn't know Austin and San Antonio were that close.
Yeah, it's about an hour and 20, given no traffic.
Perfect. So are you originally from Texas then?
Yeah, born and raised in San Antonio.
Okay.
Yeah, I spent some time in Houston, but right now with this company, this is our corporate office.
Okay.
So we just came down for a little business interview.
Gotcha. You moving on up?
That's the name of
That's the hope.
Yeah,
Oh man, I hope it went well, and I hope they give it to you with a hefty raise.
yeah. Well, that's always a deciding factor, depending when you're relocating, right? That far away.
Are they gonna relocate you possibly?
Possibly, yeah.
And you're gonna be possibly out here?
Yeah, that'll be a good incentive. Yeah. So,
You'll like it out here.
Yeah, I've visited Tennessee before, but
Tennessee's very spread out. People very nice. As you see, Nashville's growing, so the economy's good. People are nice, friendly, safe. Probably our main problem is there's just no infrastructure, and then the cost of living just is.
yeah, that's what I was looking at.
It's like it just every year for the last 15 years has been almost I would say in the top 2 or 3 most heavily hit like inflation cities in the country from what we're so used to. It's like every year it's just a little bit more extreme than everywhere else because everything's moving here. Everyone's moving here.
Yeah, but it also doesn't help you have a lot of these big companies here.
Yeah, we used to be a mom and pop small city, and then we're like, we're not gonna sell out. We're gonna keep it local, and then all of a sudden you just see once the checkbook starts opening up.
Yeah, that's what happens. They throw the dollars and money talks, unfortunately.
And I just hope we don't turn into like a Seattle or something like that, or
Because with the people comes the mess. And it takes away from the place already.
Well, if you keep on giving these companies tax breaks every time they move to a new city, they go to a new city, they build up their infrastructure, and then they leave the city 10 years later and it's destroyed. That's what I'm hoping it doesn't happen here, but we'll see. I think Nashville's turning into like the new kind of New York in a way because it's centrally located in the country. Very, very easy to get in and out of for the most part. As you see, New York's kind of collapsing. Chicago, all these major cities on the East Coast side are kind of crumbling down and everything's coming here. So I moved here back in '08,
Okay. Where were you before that?
Michigan.
Okay. How was that? I've been in Michigan.
Beautiful state, too cold, and just horribly ran as, you know, politics-wise, but...
Yeah, I spent, probably my last job, I was a corporate trainer, so I spent about 3 months in Chicago. And then went all the way up to, pretty much the whole state, Kalamazoo, all the way up to
Kazoo, yep.
Haven, yeah.
Grand Haven's a really cool spot. I tell everyone Lake Michigan is one of the best places to vacation. And most people don't, they'd much rather go to Florida or this or that. And I'm like, no, go up the coastline of Lake Michigan, whether you're on the, you know, the Illinois, Wisconsin side or the Michigan side, it's just absolutely stunning. And if you're scared of the Great Lake, you got all these smaller lakes within the confines of the state board, so.
Yeah, no, that was definitely a plus, you know, jumping from there to, you know, even the surrounding areas. I was jumping from Kentucky to Chicago, so big difference.
It's just too cold, Michigan. Like, it gets cold here too, but man, it's like when it's in those negative temperatures, the wind chill. Still get snow in April.
Yeah.
That's just crazy to me. I love going back home to visit. Don't know if I could ever live back up there again, but
Gotta get reacclimated to everything again.
yeah. Honestly, if I could choose a place to live, it'd probably be Arizona.
That's definitely different.
Arizona's gorgeous. I love it.
No, it definitely is, but...
I lived there for 1.5 years.
Okay, so you've been there, you're familiar with it.
Yep. The only thing out there is there's just very little water for the amount of people living out there.
Yeah. Well, and that's the same issues as California, right? Everybody's taking it.
Though you'd think with all these states being surrounded by nothing but water, they'd figure out how to, you know, create a way to basically filter the water from the seawater to, you know, regular water. I don't know why no one's ever done that before. It's very interesting. You know, you got all these fires that you got water right there, and I know if you spray salt water on it, things won't grow for a while, but find ways to take out that salt and you got free water right there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems too easy to me.
That's probably why they have that.
They find ways to raise more taxes to say they can fix the problem, but it ain't gonna get fixed. Guys, we're gonna raise taxes to fix this problem. Yeah, it doesn't work out that way. So I'm assuming you got a family and everything out there in Texas?
Yeah, my extended family's out there.
Okay.
Other than that, it's just my dog.
Okay. Well, the move would be a lot easier with just the dog.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, if you land this job, Nashville area is it's a fun place to be.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things to do. A lot of outdoor stuff, so that's a good thing.
There's a website called NashvilleGuru.com. Is a great website to check out. It'll tell you where to eat, drink, sightsee.
Nice.
Yeah. And then if you're ever in the need of anything catered for any occasion, whether it's fun or business, Instagram, there's a company called Music City Brunch. Music City Brunch does a private chef, food, bartender, and a live musician brought to you. So they'll cook in your own kitchen, and
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's a good time.
I'll make note of that.
We've done a couple weddings, bar mitzvahs, but we like to focus on like the private, smaller events, you know, the 8 to 15 people or 20 people, and it's one of the more unique experiences in Nashville. And it's just a little mom and pop startup, so we're trying to get our word out there.
Oh, nice. That's your business?
Yeah, well, it's my best friend's business. I'm just partnered with him on it.
Okay.
So when he's successful, I'm successful, and vice versa. So
There you go, yeah. Definitely know that, so I'll make my way back.
yeah, and then we also also toss $50 to $100 in your pocket for any referral as well. So if you meet people out in San Antonio or wherever you're traveling and you hear they're coming to Nashville, recommend Music City Brunch, get their information, and contact us. And if they hire us, we'll send you money.
And by what I hear, this company over here likes to, this corporate office likes to spend a lot of money on brunch and stuff. So,
well, fantastic. We'd love to try and help out.
see, I think it's the right one today.
Yep. Honestly, most people need to start their own business. Whether or not you work for yourself or work for somebody else, I think everyone should have a side hustle to help their own communities. We all have skills and desired things that we want and need. So if everyone kind of started their own thing, we could kind of start figuring out how to get away from these major corporations and keep our money in our neighborhoods. So
Oh, you're absolutely right. Everybody have big places like this taking over.
that's why I kind of like Detroit. Detroit's growing. Detroit, even though it's cold and it's had a bad rap for a long time, but that city is actually focusing on helping the locals. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, no, I saw a lot of that when I was there, and I made sure, like, when I went, I hit a lot of pop restaurants.
Yep. Honestly, my girlfriend and I went to Detroit we went back home to Michigan. First time she's been there, but took her to visit. We ate in Detroit. The places we ate in Detroit were better than the places here in Nashville. And Nashville's got good food, but for some reason that food was so much better.
Yeah. Just, like they say, make with love, right? Some passion in
The Detroit style deep dish is amazing, and then the meatballs, and then you got all the Greek food. And
that's what I had a lot of, because it was time during COVID, so that was one of the restaurants that were still open, but they were only open by technicality because they were the lounge. So I was like, hey, I'm not trying to just go sick and find in a hotel. I'm
trying to explore a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. All masked up and everything. But
I always laughed my ass off during COVID. It was like, oh, so we can't eat inside, but we can eat outside inside. Okay.
Yeah, that's basically what it was. Because it's an enclosed patio.
I'm like, guys, we're still inside, but and then COVID only works when you're standing up. I'm like, okay, so when you sit down and you take your mask off, and we're good.
Yep. Or like you would see all over social media where they just put the slit for the fork.
Bro, they're like all those conspiracy theories about COVID are now coming out about them being right, and I'm like, okay. And then now Dr. Fauci is now we can't get him in trouble now.
Yeah.
That man made so much money off of that. I'm shocked that, I don't know, our whole system's just messed up. And I just saw an article here recently. Japan has listed the COVID vaccine, the mRNA vaccine, as the most deadly vaccine in history. That's wild to think about.
Because they created it so quickly, and then we became guinea pigs for it.
Well, look what they're trying to do now. The bird flu is out here now, and all we're hearing about is the bird flu, and they're trying to already make a vaccine for it. I'm like, God, you guys are it just seems all made up to me.
Yeah.
Real viruses being controlled, like, it's just, at some point, I hope people finally wake up and start realizing that we've all been lied to about so much, and we can't trust anything that they say. And then they laugh at you and I for actually doing our own research. Oh my God, you do your own research? I'm like, how else are you supposed to do it?
You're supposed to trust what they say.
Just trust what they say.
Yeah.
And when they say trust the science, I'm like, well, then I know you're full of shit, because science always questions science.
That's exactly what science is.
Yeah.
It's theories.
That's what I love about science. Science will always prove science wrong, and then science will prove it right. We live in a time where we literally have zero sci-fi anymore. It's all just science now. Living in Arizona for that year and a half, it was about a week long. So Arizona, Scottsdale is very bougie. Lots of, I'm sure you've been out there before, but, nothing but resorts and conferences. But for a whole week long, I picked up nothing but scientists all week. And I love talking about random things, things that people will be like, wow, you sound crazy, but it's like, we need to think outside the box and talk about things. But picking up these scientists for this whole week, and the conversations that I had about so many things that people think is fake, Like, oh my, that's never could have happened. That, nope, not. And I'm like, this shit's real. Like, picked up a guy who actually works on time travel and teleportation.
Yeah.
And the fact that they can do what they do right now in science, they can move a molecule from point A to point B in like a microwave box. We're not there yet, but the fact that they can do that proves that we will be there.
Yeah, because if you can do that without destroying it,
Yep,
you're
already there. But I think most people aren't supposed to know the truth because people would burn things down. They'd go crazy. Then you got your own government saying there's aliens living within the ocean, and I'm like, well, it could be possible, but what if that's all just a setup? Crazy times we live in.
You see everything that's set up.
I just want to see everything. I just show us the truth. Like, I know they're getting ready to release all of JFK's, documents, which are going to be very interesting. We already know the CIA basically offed him. But how much truth are we going to find out about that? What other truth about all the other conspiracy theories that we haven't, been locked out about? Just give everyone truth.
Yeah.
And then our emotions will eventually change to the proper emotion. But no, they want to hide it from you. They think, I got news for people. You don't actually care about somebody else if you lie to them to make them feel better. If you actually care about other human beings, you won't be scared to tell them the truth, whether it's a family member, friend, or a stranger.
If people went by that general statement to begin with, we'd be in a much better place.
Right? Because if you really look at it, the amount of people we're all fed information, right? Whether it's right or wrong information, but what have we been fed? What have we been programmed? Our emotions are more important than the information that we know or we think we know. And when you're wrong, your emotions go, no, there's no way I can be wrong. So therefore you have this battering ram. It's kind of like we live in the first ever world war, but it's a digital world war.
Yeah, that's basically what it's become. Same war, just different methods.
Yep. We're just not blowing people up, but we're ruining people's lives. We're separating them. We're stealing their information. We're selling it to our enemies. The fact that, honestly, I know China and all these other places, they know everything about you and I.
We just don't have to get dirty.
And actually, people in America are so fed up with their own government and being lied to that we'd much rather download, what was that, Red Note, the Chinese app that actually steals your information. And they're like, well, if you're gonna do a TikTok ban, we're gonna just do this. Well, Andrew,
I appreciate
pleasure
it.
meeting you.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you so much.
Safe travels, and you're gonna land that job, and we'll see you here soon.
I'm telling you, we'll be calling you up.
I hope so.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
God bless.